I wish, but I wish in vain. I wish I was my youth again. All I youth again, I can never be. If cherries grow on the tree.
Yes, who is it? I didn't ask how you are, but who you are.
Oliver. Instant recognition. Oh yes, full marks.
You good God.
Well, I'm still a native, you know. Not a globe trotter like some, oh yes.
Well, today's the day for it.
Pardon me.
Old faces, they've turned up like bills you never thought you'd have to pay. I'm on my own, come in.
You won't intrude. I thought I'd offer for your trouble. I took the liberty.
Oh. Well, that's damn nice of you, Oliver. Thank you.
He
would have liked that.
It's from the door.
I thought it was a gift-wrapped mass card. I mean the mass is in English, the priest facing you across the altar like a chef at a buffet luncheon. I thought it was one more innovation. Yes, by all means.
The Gwendolyn, the wife, you know, saw the notice in the press. I would have gone to the funeral, but business, you know.
Well, it's damn nice to see you. It must be 10, I don't know, 15 years. Let's sit down. The mourners left a soldier or two still standing.
Oh, it's seldom I take a drink.
Well, I've made tea for myself, do you mind? I never drink in this house. Every Christmas the Dad would say, "Will you care for a bottle of stout, son?" Couldn't. It was the stricken look I knew would come on my mother's face, as if I'd appeared in my first pair of trousers, or put my hand on a girl's tit in her presence. What?
Jolly good.
My God, Oliver, you still think saying tit is the height of depravity. You must find married life unbearably exciting.
Haven't changed.
Anyway, I kept meaning to take that Christmas drink and send her upstairs in tears with a frenzied petition to St. Anne. Next thing I knew, there I was, aged 39, the year she died, a child on my lap who was capable of consuming the dregs of everyone else's tawny thought to wild grand parental applause. And my wife, sitting where you are, looking with disbelieving nausea at the man she'd half carried home the previous night, as he shook his greying head virtuously and said, "No thanks, Dad, I still don't." After she died, the not altogether frivolous thought occurred to me that the man who will deliberately not cause pain to his mother must be something of a sadist. I suppose I could have had a drink since then, but why spoil it? You're getting a bald spot.
Vino, floats the wind, breezy out. Fine head of hair still, you know. Warm for a coat though.
Oh, yes.
A month of May, you know.
Well, I was halfway out the door when I remembered this lot. Rubbish, mostly. HP agreements, rent books, insurance books, broken pipe.
Now,
What?
look, see? You see?
Yes, you were right and I was wrong. Hair care is not an idle dream.
Your massage, you know.
Ah!
Ah, yes.
Having children?
Mm.
Ah. Ah. What else?
What?
Is new?
Oh, no.
Long time, so.
Oh, no. Yes, by Jove, I knew I had something to tell you. 6 years ago,
Yes.
I finally got the theme music from How Green Was My Valley.
Is that a fact?
The only electronically simulated stereo, you know, but still, that was a good film.
Wasn't it?
I got Billy Hope for going with you to that film. Me mother wouldn't let me play with you over that film.
Why?
Pretend he doesn't know.
Remind me.
You made me miss my elocution class.
So I did.
Sappy days, eh? Do you remember that expression we used to have? Sappy days.
Yes.
I'm glad I kept up with the old elocution, you know. A great standby. Always pronounce properly and look after your appearance. That's how you get on.
Did you? Get on.
Oh, well, you know.
How fantastic.
No harm being ready and waiting.
No, none.
Yeah, that's why I was always smarting myself.
And got all the best girls.
I did though, didn't I?
Betty Brady.
Oh, no.
And that one that lived in the maze of buildings behind Cross Avenue. What was it we called her?
The Casbah.
Casbah. And Maureen O'Reilly.
Maureen. Oh, no, don't be talking. And now there was a girl who took pride in her appearance.
Yes.
With the big... Well, it was, you know. Chest.
Tits.
Oh.
She once told me, she said, Oliver is going to be a great man. Believed it. No matter what, they all were. What's up? All I ever seemed to get was the sort of girl who had a special dispensation from Rome to wear the thickest part of her legs below the knees. Yes.
Oh, no.
Modeling yourself on Tyrone Power, right? I favored Gary Cooper myself. Somehow I always came across as Akim Tamirov. Jesus, Oliver, us in those days, we even thought Gene Autry could act.
He could sing next to Callie Rose, still and down.
At least he could do.
Your drawback was you didn't take the Dale Carnegie course like I done.
Too lazy.
Very worthwhile. And then after you went over the pond, as they say, I joined the Rosicrucians. That was a great comfort to me, the time the mother died. It's all about the soul surviving, you know, in the universal consciousness. Should I keep on with it, do you think?
Of course, if it helps.
Your dad, you know, came to the mother's funeral. I never forgot that to him.
Well, he was always fond of you.
Fond of him. Fond of that one? Jesus, will you give over? My grave's too narrow to turn in.
In his way.
In the end, was it, if you don't mind me asking?
No, it wasn't sudden. He got these silent strokes, they're called. Old age. I mean, it wasn't unexpected. It went sudden.
You were...
I was in London. Flew over yesterday. Off tonight. Well, my middle-aged friend, now we're both parentless. We've gone to the head of the queue.
Queue for what? Oh, no. A long way to go yet. Only getting started. Well,
Don't go. Finish your train.
the wife, you know.
No, look, let me clear up here. I'll run you home.
No must be riding the trails of the old hacienda. The little woman...
10 minutes.
Queer, you know, how a house looks empty after a funeral. What will happen to it now, do you think?
What, this place? It'll be relet, I suppose.
I wondered. What was it, I wonder? Do you happen to know anybody in the council housing?
Me?
Well, I hear you got on, so they tell me. Gwendolyn and me are on the list for a house this long time. I thought if you had a bit of pull.
Yeah, I haven't, sorry.
Oh, no. Now lose up in the world.
I haven't.
Oh. Well, ask not, and you receive not.
Dale Connick.
Oh, no. Well, see you next time you're over. Sorry for the trouble. Happy days, eh?
Sappy day. Fucking vulture. Push! Scat! Out!
Now, that wasn't too bad a day.
Oh, piss off! Sit there then, no one is minding you.
I knew it would hold up here. You were lucky with the weather when you come over at Christmas, too. Mind, I wouldn't give you much for tomorrow. When you can see the mountains of morn, that's a sure sign it'll rain. The angels will be having a pee.
Now that will do.
That's a good expression. Have you ever heard that expression?
Have I? Thanks to you, until I was 12 years of age, every time the rain came down, I had a mental picture of a group of winged figures standing around a hole in the clouds relieving themselves. Now go away! I'm working, I'm clearing up. Yes, that was him. A gardener all of his life, intimately associated with rainfall, i.e. the atmospheric condensation of warm air, which when large enough to fall perceptibly to the ground, constitutes precipitation. The hot air rises, the rain falls. But as far as he was concerned, that elementary kind of phenomena was
Cardology.
Cardology. Now, it was easier and funnier and more theologically orientated to say that the angels were having a pee.
You ought to write that down on one of your plays.
I'd die first. What are you doing?
Sitting there without a cup of tea in your
I
hand.
have a cup full.
It's empty.
It's full.
Way at it.
Now listen to me. Don't touch that teapot. Do you hear me? For 42 years I've been through this, you and that bloody teapot, and I know what's going to happen. Now don't touch it.
Not a drop of tea in his cup. No wonder he's delicate.
Oh, look, will you leave the bleeding...
Oh, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
I knew it. That's hot. You're too damn headstrong. Could you have at least waited for me ma to come in and let... Oh, Jesus.
Bad sister for an antichrist of a teapot. The handle must be hollow. Fished out. Say nothing. Empty. The devil's cure to it, but it's hot. Oh, be the hokey. There you are, son.
Thanks.
That'll put the redneck at you.
Right.
Now, here's the sugar.
I have it.
Is it with you?
Yes.
Now, if you don't want the tea, I'll throw a bottle of stout for you.
Now look, you know I never drink, huh? I don't want a bottle of stout. Now sit.
Sure, there's no shagging nourishment in tea. Now, how the hell are we going to shift that, huh? If herself comes home and she's out in the middle of the floor, there'll be desolation. The horses let her down today, and if the picture in the picture show is a washout, she'll come home to us raving. That's a right conundrum, huh?
Cover it with a bucket.
You take your... that handle is hot for the night. Don't stir. Keep your ear cocked for the squeak of the gate.
Why?
Now,
What?
there we go.
Now will you get out and let me be? You're dead. You're in Dean's Grange Cemetery in a box 6 feet under with her. I carried you. It's over. You're gone. So get out of my head. Or at least stay quiet. 80 miserable years if you were in this drawer. As soon as I've sorted out the odds and ends, I'm slamming that front door and that's it. Your nephew Paddy got the TV set. I gave the radio to Maureen and Tom. And Mrs. Dunn next door got my sincere thanks for her many kindnesses, and in consequence thereof has said she'll never talk to me again. Oh, the junkman can have the rest because I've got what I want. An hour from now, this fire will go out. And there'll be no one here to light it. I'll be rid of you. I'm sweating here because I couldn't wait to put my coat on and be off. So what do you say to that?
Big God, son, you're getting as grey as a badger.
Old Drum's right about you. The day he came here to give me the reference.
There's worse going on Old Drum.
He had you taken.
Was he here today?
He was at the Mass, next to the pulpit.
How was that him? Oh, I'd never recognize him. Big God, but he's failed greatly.
You should talk.
He's a decent poor bugger though.
Do you know what he called you? The enemy.
Charlie, will you come down when I tell you?
Who's that?
Charlie, you want me to come up to you?
I've forgotten what she looked like.
Oh, will you get off your behind and call him? He's in the lavatory with his curse of God books again.
Are you here, Mother? Will you come down, you pup? Will you come down when you call? Have I put me hand here?
Oh, that'll do.
Slouching and skipping and acting the go-boy. Mr. Drum is halfway up the
I
path.
said that'll do. Read your paper.
Hopping and leaping and playing the cowboy on the green bank. Buck Jones.
You were always behind the times. I hadn't played cowboys in 5 years.
Shaggin, Gibson, Tim McCoy, Randall Scott.
Oh, you give a body a headache.
And Jeannie Autry.
Now, when Mr. Drum comes in this house, you're not to say yes, aye, or no to him. Do you hear me?
Should I know Old Drum? Who was it pruned his rose tree?
No passing remarks.
Mag, that's
Say nothing.
I never knew how she did it.
Tynan, says he to me, I never seen the beating of you for roses. Now that's just as sure as you're standing there, Mag. Never seen the beating of me.
Throw you a crumb and you call it a banquet.
I hear, says he, that you're a great man for the whist games. Well, I nearly fell out of me standing. Who told you that, says I, looking at him? I'm sure he says there isn't a dog or a devil in the town that doesn't know you. Johnny, I was just saying, should I know Old Drum these donkey's years?
Oh, God, not that little prick. You were, you know.
Ken, what are you? Only a pig.
Careful. That could lead to a compliment.
Sure, Drum will give you a grand reference. And if he doesn't, it's self but harm. Aren't we all grand and comfortable, knowing nothing to no one, and have we all got our health and our strength, and isn't that the main thing?
Eat your heart out, Oscar Wilde.
Don't lie over the table. You'll get a humpback like old Totterdom.
Totterdom is a decent man.
What's the book?
Story of San Michel.
Michaeli, you tick.
What? The state of that shirt. I'll have to give you a fresh one.
It's only Tuesday.
Well, take it off.
How much wear one shirt all week?
Well, you can go easy on it, can't you? Do what you're told. More you do for them, the less thanks you get.
Sure you could plant seed potatoes on that shirt, son. Oh, says my old one, the old one, we come to the waxy lord, the land, says the old one, my old one, so I hadn't got a farthing. The waxies were tailors, and the waxy dogger was a fair they held beyond in the town of Bray in old God's time. You didn't know that, huh?
Answer him.
Yeah, you told me. You're a nice one to talk about being polite to him.
Privilege of age, boy.
Big God, son, there isn't a pick on you. You're tin, the fella says, and I'm tin. But your man is tinner than the pair of us put together.
Now, this is newly ironed. Put it on.
What's that?
Put it on you.
Look at it.
But there's nothing wrong with that shirt, only it's gone a bit small for you. There's many a poor person that'd be glad of it.
Then give it to them.
Oh,
God, look at the tail!
well, who's going to see it?
I'm not wearing it.
Well, leave it there, then don't. Put that shirt on you.
I won't.
Nick.
Well, you do like the woman tells you. Can't we have a minute's peace and quiet in the house of one night of the week? Jesus Christ, you got no drum to walk in here on the top of you.
Now, that'll do you with your sacred name. Now, lift your arm.
I'm not wearing that.
That's the boy. Joe herself cut up one of my old shirts, but that didn't you, man?
You were always there with the good news.
The day you bring money in, you can start being particular. Time enough then to act the gentleman. You could do the big fella in here then, as well as on the seafront. Oh, it's an old saying, but a true one. More you do for them, the less thanks you get.
Ah, sure, that looks grand.
And isn't it the end of the day?
You always gave in. Too soft to stand up to them, no guts. No, it could have been worse, I suppose. Like the time you had the date with Ida Byrne, and you asked her to press you a pair of navy blue trousers. You told her it was for the altar boys out. She'd never pressed a pair of trousers in her life, with the creases down the sides. Every little gurry in the town followed you and Ida that night, singing Anchors Away. Happy days.
There he is now. Oh, God and his holy mother sent he'll find you something. Oh, but you wait till he knocks.
Ah, sure, I'm no old drum.
And keep that gob of yours shut. Have man.
He's only a clerk, you know.
He was a chief clerk, $5.50 a year. Not bad for 1940. What?
For November.
What's up?
Nothing.
Now don't be proud with me, boy.
Now listen to them. They always crawl.
Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the dirt. The shame of being ashamed of them was the worst part, wasn't it? What are you afraid of?
Well, tell us that day.
When?
Then. Now, today, did they say anything to him?
About what?
Oh, still we're terrible dragging you out of your way.
Is this the young man? How do you do?
Ah, shake hands, son.
A bookworm like myself, I see.
Move out and let the man sit down.
Up right there you are, sir.
Don't call him sir.
Now you'll sit there and have a cup of tea in your hand.
No, I will not.
Nah, don't listen to me, will you, will?
You're a foolish woman. In these times, we may take hospitality for granted. A ration of half an ounce of tea per person per week doesn't go far.
Now it won't poison you.
And them's not your tea leaves that are used and dried out and used against her. And there's your milk and there's your sugar.
Look here, my dear man, will you sit? I'm not helpless.
Nick,
Sure, what the hell else have we only for the cup of tea? Well, damn all now, haven't I right,
Your name is...
Charles Patton.
And you've done with school?
He got a scholarship to the Presentation Brothers. Oh, there was many a one got it and took the money. But no, we said, let him have the education, because it'll stand him when we're gone.
Charlie's the boy with the brains.
Right, are you? Who's your favorite author?
Oh, Shakespeare.
You liar.
And where do your talents lie? An authority on Shakespeare shouldn't mumble. I ask, what kind of post do you want?
Oh, he'll take what he's offered. He's 6 months idle since he left school. He won't pick and choose.
And if there's nothing going for him, sure he can wait. There'll be any amount of jobs once the war is over.
Past history says otherwise. There's usually a depression.
Not at all.
You're an expert, are you?
What are you talking about? You know what you're talking about. Sure, the Germans know the Irish are their friends. And time's on it, when the good jobs are handed out in England, they'll give us the first preference.
Who will?
By the cherries. The cherries, haven't I telling you, when they win.
You support the Germans, do you?
Shut up! Don't go red, smile.
Something amusing you?
Hitler is the man that's well able for them. He'll give them lacquery the same as we done. Sure, isn't he the grandest man under the sun, himself and Debelier?
Now that'll do.
What the hell luck could the English have anyway? Didn't they come into the town here and shoot decent people in their beds? It'll be a long day before they're able to cruise over Heil Hitler. He throws them back into the sea in 1940 and he'll do it again. Sure, what's Churchill anyway? Grand old old Yahoo. With a big cigar stuck in his fat old gob. And a face on him like a boiled shite.
There's plenty more tea in the pot.
No, I must be going.
You oughtn't to mind him.
I don't at all. I thought the boy might walk with me and I could ask him what it is I need to know.
Charlie, do you hear? Go and comb your hair. And give your face a rub. I know you'll do your best for him, you will.
It would be a poor best. There's nothing here for anyone. Have you thought of letting him go to England?
England?
There's work there.
Oh, no.
It might be for his good.
Oh, no, we'd think bad and lose him.
There's good jobs going here if you only keep your eye out. I've been gardening above at Jacobs for 46 years. Since I was a lad. Now, would you believe that?
Yes, I would.
What is there in England? Only bombs and getting into bad health? No, he'll stay where he's well looked after. Poor Mr. Drum, we're all he has. His own didn't want him.
His own?
Whoever she was.
Do you mean the boy is adopted?
Oh, don't talk to me.
And I listened, faint with shame, while you delivered your party piece.
I took him out of Hollis Street Hospital when he was 10 days old, and he's never wanted for anything since. Me mother, that's dead and gone, the Lord have mercy on her, said to me, Mag, he's a nurse child. You don't know where he was got, or how he was got, and you'll rue the day he'll turn on you.
Not at all, woman.
Haven't I saying, you try rearing a child on 30 shillings a week then, and £2.10 now after 40 years of slaving, and see where it leaves you.
Standby finale coming up.
A child that was delicate. She tried to get rid of him.
Get rid?
Roll of drums, Anne.
Before he was born, and whatever kind of rotten poison she took, Dr. Enright told me. He said, you won't rear that child, ma'am. He'll never make old bones. But I did rear him, and he's a credit to us.
Band called Final Curtain Speech.
He's more to us than our own, so he is.
Thunderous applause. Hand her up the bouquet.
You're a woman out of the ordinary. The boy has cause to be grateful.
Well done. How's life? The screams seem to come through my eyes.
Charlie!
I see he's leading the way. Goodbye, Mrs. Tynan. I'll do what little I can.
Oh, sure I know. God never let me down yet.
You surprised me.
Nick, say goodbye.
Ah, well, you're off. Well, good luck. We shall rise again, big confident.
You're an ignorant man. Young man, come here.
There's worse going than old Drum. He's a decent man. Never seen the beating of me, says he, for roses.
You could have stopped her. You could have tried. You never said a word.
I think I'll do me feet tonight, Mag. I got a welt on me that's a bugger.
All those years you sat and looked into the fire. What went through your head? What did you think about? What thought? I never knew you to have a hope or a dream or say a half-wise thing.
Aye, rain tomorrow.
Whist drives on Wednesday, the Picture House on Sunday, and the Wicklow Regatta every first Monday in August. Bendigo plug tobacco, and up Devon, God bless all here when I get in myself. You worked for 58 years. 9 hours a day, in a garden so steep a horse couldn't climb it. And when they got rid of you with a pension of 10 shillings a week, you did handsprings for joy, because it came from the quality. You spent your life sitting on brambles and wouldn't move in case someone took your seat.
Ah, you're a comical boy.
You could have stopped her.
Ignorant, he said you were, and that's the word for you. With your up Hitler in front of him and your dirty expressions. Ignorant.
Now what are you giving out about?
You sticking your freight in where it's not wanted so the body wouldn't know where to look. I said to you, keep that gob of yours shut, I said. But no, it'd kill you.
I never said a word to the man. Good, bad, but indifferent.
You're not fit to be let loose with respectable people. I don't wonder at Charlie running out of the house.
Don't you?
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time you made a show of him, and it won't be the last. God help the boy if he has you to depend on.
Oh, come on now, Max.
Anyone would be ashamed of him.
Max.
He's done with you now. Done with you.
Serves you right. You could have stopped it.
The wind has moved to the east. Do you take a drink?
Not yet.
You will, please God. Do you chase girls?
Pardon?
Female persons, do you indulge?
The odd time.
As a diversion, I don't condemn it. Henry Vaughan, an otherwise unremarkable poet of the 17th century, summed it up happily when he wrote, "How brave a prospect is a bright backside." Do you know Vaughan?
Yeah. They are all gone into the world of light.
So you do read poetry. Listen to me, my friend. If you and I are to have dealings, you had better know that I do not tolerate liars. Don't try it on with me ever again.
I didn't ever write.
Shakespeare is nobody's favorite author. We'll say no more about it. Yes, chase away by all means and give them a damn good squeeze if you catch them. But be slow to marry. The maximum of loneliness and the minimum of privacy. I have 2 daughters myself. No boys.
Yeah, I know your daughters.
Oh.
Just to see, not to talk to.
I would describe them as bird-like.
Yeah, I suppose you might.
Rhode Island Reds. You may laugh.
Oh, I wouldn't laugh.
I said you may. I do. No boys. There will be a vacancy in my office for a filing clerk. I don't recommend it to you. Jobs are like lobster pots, harder to get out of than into. You seem to me to be not cut out for clerking. But if you want to sell your soul for 45 shillings a week, I dare say my conscience won't keep me awake at night.
What do you mean I can have it?
If you're foolish,
A job? A job in an office? Get out of the cold? Oh, dear, you think I'll go mad? Oh, God, I think I'll split in 2. I'm a millionaire. Oh, Mr. Drummond, anytime if there's ever an old favor I can do for you over this.
And speak correct English.
Honest to God, Mr. Drummond, I'm so delighted. If you asked me to, I'd speak Swahili. A job.
And this is how we throw our lives away.
I beg your pardon?
You'll amount to nothing until you learn to say no. No to jobs. No to girls. No to money. Otherwise, by the time you've learned to say no to life, you'll find you've swallowed half of it.
Well, I've been looking for a job since school, Mr. Drum. I couldn't refuse it.
To be sure.
Well, I mean, I'm the only one at home.
I'm aware of that. So be it. There's a gray look about your face. I suggest you begin to wash yourself properly. And I'll need a copy of your birth certificate. What's your name?
Timon.
I mean your real name. You overheard what your foster mother told me, didn't you? That you're illegitimate. Now, don't give me that woe-begone look. It's a fact. You're going to have to live with it, and you may as well make a start. Bastardy is more ignominious in a small town than in a large one. Please God, it may light a fire under you. Do your friends know? Probably they do, so don't tell them. They won't thank you for spiking their guns. What ails you? Now look here, my friend, tears will get no sympathy from me. I said we'll have done with it. People will take me for a pederast. Your nose is running. Wipe it.
I haven't got a handkerchief.
You can't have mine. Use something. The tail of your shirt.
Well, I won't.
Won't?
It's a disgusting thing to do.
You think so? Well, perhaps there's hope for you yet.
Well, there's a bend on the pier.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The Artane boys from the orphanage, by the sound. Your mother, shall we call her, is a fine woman.
Oh, yeah. Except she tells everyone.
About you.
Yeah, all the old ones. And then they say to her, isn't she the great one, and how I had to go down on my bended knees? Well, even the odd time I do something right, it's never enough. It's always the least I could do. Me da is different. If you ran into him with the motor car, he'd thank you for the lift.
I'm fond of him.
Of me da?
I can afford that luxury. I'm not obliged to live with him. You are. That's why he's the enemy.
The what?
Your enemy.
Oh, I see.
Don't be polite with me, my friend, or you'll be out of that job before you're into it. Once at a whist game, I heard him say that the world would end in 1940. It was a superstition that had a fashionable currency at one time among the credulous. Well, 1940 came and went, as you may have noticed. And finding myself and the county of Dublin unscathed, I tackled him on the subject. He was unruffled. He informed me that the world hadn't ended because the German bombs had upset the weather. Yes, the dangerous ones are those who amuse us. There are millions like him. Inoffensive, stupid, and not a damn bit of good. They've never said no in their lives, or to their lives, and they cheerfully see the rest of us buried. If you have any sense, you'll learn to be frightened of him.
It's a hard show day, ma'am. Why, certainly you know me, Tynan. I worked for Jacobs. Sure, I was well known as a begging ass. Now, do you know what I'm going to tell you, ma'am? That backfield of yours, the meadow, well, now, if you was to clear that of all the rocks and the stumps and trees in it, and dig it up with a good spreading of manure on the top of it, begod, you wouldn't know yourself. There's cover all you couldn't grow on.
From people too ignorant to feel pain, may the good God deliver us.
Yes, but you see the way it is, man, the young lad, he's starting out work. Oh, yes, a tougher job, running an office. Sure, he's made for life. And we'd feel badly if we couldn't give him a good suit and a couple of shirts. Sure, we couldn't have him mixing with high-up people in the arse out of his trousers, now, could we? Yeah,
I'm advising you to live in your own world, not with one foot in his.
Yes, I could come here on Sunday and do the field. Not at all, not at all. Won't take a feather out of me. Yes, well, sure, I might leave that to you, whatever you think it's worth. Thank you, ma'am, thank you very much. More power. Old power said old power when young power was born.
Are we still on speaking terms?
Yes.
You aren't angry?
No.
Indeed, why should you be? Shall we stroll down and listen to the Artane boys?
And I went off with him like a trollop.
Our drum is a decent skin. Come in here to see how I was managing after a self-dive. 3 years ago this month. He gave me a packet of cigarettes. Take 'em, says he. I won't, says I. You will, says he. Take 'em when you're told to, so I do. Where is it now that I have them?
We listened to the band. And I even made excuses for you. I told him about your grandfather and 2 uncles starving to death in the famine.
Oh, aye, them were hard times. They died in the ditches.
What ditches? I made it up.
Fierce times they were. And what the hell did I do with them cigarettes? You could smoke them in the airplane.
I don't want them.
You do.
I don't.
You do.
Don't make them. Look. I found them. Look.
Good lad. Yes, it was in the month of May. No. Drum smoke, sweet afternoons. That's not them.
Yes, sir.
It was in the month of May herself died, and it was in the month of May that I went. Now, would you believe that?
Congratulations. I should have stuck up for you and told him to keep his job. That way I could have hated you instead of myself. Because he was dead on about you. He described you to... Will you get down? You destroyed me, do you know that? Years after I'd quit the job and seen the last of old Drum, I was dining out in London. Black dicky bow, oak paneling, sort of place where you have to remember not to say thanks to the waiter. I had just propelled an erudite remark across the table and was about to shoot my cups, lose my head, and chance another one. And I felt a sudden tug, as if I were on a dog lead. I looked, and there you were at the other end of it, paring your corns, and informing me, but Jesus, the weather will hold up if it doesn't rain, sprinkling sugar on my bread when Ma's back was turned.
Say nothing. Put them in your pocket.
So how could I belong there when I belong here?
Take 'em, said Drum to me when you told her.
It was more than a memory, because she was dead then. And at that moment I knew you were sitting here on your own, while the daylight went. Did you think bad of me? I wish I were a fly inside your head, like you're a wasp inside mine. Why wouldn't you come to us in London when we asked you?
What would I do that for?
You were 81.
Sure I was a marvel. Finance is for the corny to me. We'll have to shoot you in the winder. What a fool I'd be to go off and leave ourselves bits and pieces where any dog or a dibble could come in and steal them, and for what? To go to England and maybe wind up in an early grave with the food they serve up you there?
No, you'd rather stay here like a maggot in a cabbage and die of neglect.
I fended for myself. No better man.
Out of sight or in sight, you were a millstone. You couldn't even let me lose my virginity in peace.
Lose your what?
Nothing. It's a slang word, now obsolete.
Who's that? There's a fine-looking gal. What's she doing around here?
No, she's not here. She's on the seafront. And she wasn't a fine girl. She was known locally as the Yellow Peril.
Underneath the lamplight, by the barrack gate, darling, I remember the way you used to wait. I heard you walking in the street, I smelt your feet, but could not meet my lily of the lamplight, my own Lily Marley.
We all dreamed privately and sweatily of committing dark deeds with the Yellow Peril. Dark was the word for them. For if you were seen with her, nice girls would shun you and tell their mothers, and their mothers would tell yours. The Yellow Peril was the enemy of mothers. And the fellas would jeer at you for your beggarman's lust, you with your fine words of settling for nothing less than Veronica Lake. We always kept our sexual sights impossibly high. It preserved us from the stigma of attempt and failure on the one hand, and success and mortal sin on the other. The Yellow Peril never winked, smiled, or flirted. The sure sign of an activist. We avoided her, and yet she was a comfort to us. It was like having a trusty flintlock handy in case of necessity.
They say she's mustard.
Oh yes, red hot, you know.
She has a fine-looking pair. What legs you mean?
Them too.
Oh, no, jolly good.
She's looking. Evening.
Don't! We'll get ourselves a bad name. Now, where was I? Yes, I was telling you about Maria Montez in Cobra, woman. Now, there's a fine
They
figure.
said she'd let you. All you have to do is ask.
Maria Montez? Is that a fact? Oh, yes, but who's that hard up for it?
I was.
I mean, who wants to demean himself?
I did.
Oh, God, I wouldn't touch her in a fit. I'm only
Oh, and
talking-
she'd make a holy show of you, you know. Like she done with the man who tried to interfere with her in the picture house. Well, I think it was a Bette Davis. The man sat down next to her, and as soon as the big picture came on the screen, he started tampering with her in some way. And she never said a word, only got up and dragged him to the manager by his wigger wagger.
She never.
True as God. He felt very small, I can tell you.
Yeah, but still, if she minded, she can't be all that fast.
Oh, I don't know. If she wasn't fast, she'd have dragged him by something else.
Knots, tied granny knots in my inside. I wanted the yellow peril like I wanted no girl before, and no woman since. And what was worse, I was wearing my new suit for the first time, and I had to do it now or never, before the newness wore off.
So, will we trot up to the billiard hall?
You go.
Me?
I'll follow you.
Her?
Go on.
Oh, no. You wouldn't.
Ollie Fizz,
But you don't want to chance your arm with her. She'd let you. Where will you take her?
Oh, I don't know. Down the back.
I'll see you then.
Yeah.
I suppose you know you'll destroy your good suit.
Will you go on? See you.
I was the one you came out with, you know. They say it's very disappointing, you know, very overrated. Well, don't salute me in the town when you see me, because you won't be saluted back.
You want a hand? If they think you're afraid of them, they'll attack you. You said yourself, all you have to do is ask.
Dry up, will you?
Now, quick.
Evening.
You said that.
Sit.
I'm not gonna sit down.
Free country.
Nothing doing for you here.
Never said there was.
Ought to have gone off that friend of yours.
Who what?
You ought.
What for?
Nothing doing for you here.
Never said there was.
What's your name anyway?
Bruce?
Yeah,
It is.
Bruce. Nice name.
He's Oliver.
That's so.
He's from the town.
Where are you from?
Trinity College.
That right.
English literature.
Must be hard.
Bits of it.
Ask her.
She's not on.
Ask.
One Edward G. Robinson
much in mind of a monkey.
Let's see. Do you know he does?
One of them baboons.
Yes. Yes.
You insidious devil, you.
It doesn't screw off.
I think you're getting her money all excited.
You needn't think there's anything doing for you here.
I don't.
Don't know what to take me for. Sort of person who'd sit here and be fed with people passing. If you won't stop, I'll have to go down the back. If you won't stop. Wait till that old fella goes past. Him. Not that you're getting anything.
I know.
My silver-tongued eloquence had claimed its helpless victim. Defloration stared me in the face. My virginhood swung by a frayed thread. Then,
Oh, says my old man, and says you're a wonder. Good luck, good luck. Jesus, Mary, and Sure, the whole world has gone mad. The whiskey was cancelled, only 4 tables bad scrambled. But well, says I'm at the loss of my tram fare down, but I'll not be at the loss of it back, but I'll walk.
if my hand were free, I would have slashed my wrists.
And the young ones going nowadays at each, I don't know.
He doesn't know much.
He knows so shagging much. If your mother was here and seen you now, there'd be blood spills.
Yeah, much she'd care.
Much who'd care?
Me ma.
No, he's talking to me.
Well, certainly I'm talking to him. This is my young lad you're trick acting with.
This is your dad.
That's Charlie.
Oh.
Bruce is my middle name.
Charles Patrick.
Thanks.
Now you mind me, what is it they call you?
Mary Tate.
Hold off with your interference. Come here.
Good dwellings beyond the railway.
Oh, sure, your mother was one of the Hannigans of Sallynoggin. Did you know that?
Yes.
And your Uncle Tinny and me were comrades at the time of the Troubles. And you had a sister that died above in Loughlin's town of consumption.
Sister Peg.
Another one in England.
Julie.
God, don't I know the whole seed and breed he is? Oh, this is a grand girl. Tell me, is there any news of your father itself?
No.
Ah, them's hard lines.
We don't want news of him. Let him stay wherever he is. We can manage without him. He didn't give a curse about us then, and we don't give a curse about him now.
There's some strange people walking the ways of the world.
Blast him.
And before my eyes, you turned the Yellow Peril into Mary Tate. The father who'd sailed off to look for work in Scotland 5 years before, and had there decided that one could live more cheaply than 7. The last thing I wanted that evening was a person.
Now you mind your manners, and treat her right, and don't you take no impudence from him. Call me 11, Charlie.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye, so. Now, mind yourself, huh?
Bye. You're old fella's great, guy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, will we go down the back?
Down the back, yeah.
He's gone, he won't see us. Bruce.
Now, the thing is, I promised Oliver I'd see him at the billiard hall.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some evening next week, if you're around.
Sure.
But Oliver's holding the table for us. I gotta run. I'll see you.
Suppose you will. You ought to wrap yourself in cotton wool. Daddy's little baby. Daddy's little...
I stayed away from the seafront for a long time. What's yours? Tug of War Medal, 1912. You see, it was different then. It was even different when I was 7. God, you were an Einstein in those days.
Come on, hop out of there, put up your homework, get off your backside, and we'll take the dog for a run around the bike. Come on, Becky, come on now, come on. Oh, there he is, come on now. Come on, give us the paw. Come on now, give us the paw. Oh, look at that. Oh, big God, wouldn't he dare talk that? For the love of Jesus, will you get down out of there? Yeah. Come on, you're right, sir. Come on.
Right, you have about as much sense as I don't know what. Taking him out with his chest exposed. You want to get him into bad health.
Mama!
Now go on. Bless yourselves. Go now, the pair of you.
Look at that mackerel sty. Big God, but isn't this the greatest country in the world, huh?
Say, Captain. You know what you always say, what the country mug in the army said, say.
What did he say, yes, well, he joins up, and the first night he sits down to his dinner, and he says, yes, sir, and no, sir, and sir, if you please. Is it up the duck's arse that I shove the green peas? Come to the waxy dargle, and says you're a wonder, my old man. Come on now, come on, please.
No, I can't.
You can't.
No, I fall.
You won't fall. Come on now, come on, give me your hand. That's the lad. Look at that view. Look at the mountains. There's a view. If you were rich enough, you couldn't buy it. You know what I'm going to tell you? There's them that say that's a better view than the Bay of Naples.
Where's Naples, Stan?
It's in Italy.
What's Italy like, that?
Sticky, son, very sticky.
Will I go to Italy when I grow up?
Yeah, well, the fear of it will let you.
There's a ship. Is that it? Dad, is that it? Is that our ship coming in?
Here. No, sir, I'm afraid that one's gone out.
Oh, will ours be in tomorrow, then?
Oh, then we got it, mate.
We'll be on a pig's back then, Dad, won't we, when we're rich?
No, we won't be far off it.
And what will we do? When we win the sweep?
We won't do a shag and hands turn.
Lovely.
Sure, didn't the girl pig we took it out of the drum last year? That sister, didn't she drop it?
She did.
She did.
A blooming fish.
Where did you hear that expression?
I don't know, Dad.
Don't ever let me hear you use that expression again. The corner boy expression.
Sorry, Dad.
Ah, women are different from you and me, son. You should grow up to respect them. Now, never call a woman a name like that. Not even if she's a right old whore. You know where we are now?
Donkey Hill, Dad.
Different a bit of it. When I was in lads, as this old Higgins said. And old Higgins himself who said Jesus offered and him up on a white horse. He never set foot in church, chapel or meeting. And signs on it when he died, no one would have it. He's buried down there underneath what's left of a cross after it was struck by lightning. There's them that say he sold his soul to the old fella himself.
What old fella, Dad?
Your man. There isn't a mark of his hoof below on the wall by the Ardborough Road, where he tripped running to catch the main boat to take him back home to England.
Let's go home, Dad.
Why, what is it?
I'm afraid of old Higgins.
You can't.
Oh, it's getting dark. I want to go home.
I won't mind you if you don't mind them.
Dad!
Yeah, well, wait till I light it by them, huh?
Dad? You know the thing I'm worst afraid of?
What's that?
Well, you know me mother. Not man, the real one.
Yeah, what about her?
Well, me Aunt Bridgie says that when it gets dark, she comes and looks in at me through the window.
Looks in at you.
And she says she's tall and with a white face and a long black coat. And she comes out from Dublin on the tram. And she says she wants me back.
Is that a fact?
And my Aunt Bridgie says it wasn't true what you told me when I was small. About me mother being on Lambay Island where she couldn't get hold of me. And living on pollocks and horny cobblers.
Not true. Did I ever tell you the word of a lie?
I don't believe she's on Lambay Island, huh?
No, son, she's not. No, that wasn't a lie. That was a make-up. You see, you were so young, we didn't know what to tell you. For fear you wouldn't understand.
Understand what? Why, Dad, where is she? Dad, tell her.
You see that flashing light?
That's the Kish light shin.
That's where she is.
On the Kish?
God be good to her.
What's she doing on the Kish now?
She cooks.
The light shipment?
Yes!
And what does she cook?
Pollocks, son, and horny cobbles. So now you know.
What has she got off the Kish? And it's out now before us, looking through the window.
If she is, I tell you what we'll do. I'll sneak up behind her, and I'll give it the biggest root up the arse a woman ever got.
Really, Dad?
I will. And that's nothing compared to the root I'm going to give your Aunt Bridgie. Where the hell is that whelp of a dog?
Dad, I love you.
Well, certainly you do. Why wouldn't you? Peggy, I'm ready when you call.
Why wouldn't I? I'll tell you why bloody wouldn't I, because you're an old thick, a zombie, a mastodon. My God, my mother living on a light ship, trimming the wick, billeting horny cobblers. What a blazing of a fertile imagination you had. Cobblers aren't even edible. And pollocks.
That's right, son, pollocks.
The black dog was the only intelligent member of the family. He died a few years later. He was poisoned. And no one will convince me it wasn't suicide. God knows how Martha came to marry her. Well, I know how, sort of. She told me. I mean, why?
He was called Ernie Moore. He used to be on the boats, the B&I. The Lady Hudson Kinahan it was. I was very great with Ernie Moore for a while. And then one day himself came to the house and said how he had the job above at Jacobs and wanted to marry me. So that was that.
How?
It was fixed.
How fixed?
My father told him I would, so it was fixed. Things was arranged in them days.
What did you want to?
I had no say in it.
How well did you know him?
Oh, well enough to bid the time of danger.
Oh, that was handy.
A body's not put into this world to pick and choose and be particular. I was 17. I done what I was told to.
What about Popeye the Sailor?
Who?
The other one.
Oh, Mr. Moore in your mouth. When your time comes and you have to answer to your God in the next world, it makes no differ who you marry or who you didn't marry. That's when everything will be made up to us.
You mean they hand out free sailors?
Dear. Well, God send that you never have to get married young, for fear that if you stayed at home you might die, like many another died, of consumption for want of proper nourishment. Waited on hand and foot, never one for nothing. Well, when you do get married, to whatever rip will have you, I only hope you'll be half the provider for her as himself has been for me. Is that letter done?
Yeah.
Well, read it out.
Oh, the Jacobs don't care whether I got a job or not.
Now, it's manners to tell them they ask after you. Go on.
Dear Nelson and Jeanette. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Jacobs. My father has told me how often you have been so good as to inquire as to whether I have yet found employment. I am grateful for your interest, and am glad to say that I have now been given a clerical position. So, happily, I am no longer like Mr. McCawber, constantly expecting something to turn up. Thanking you for your concern, I don't...
What sort of codology is that?
What?
You're no longer like who?
Oh, it's an expression out of a book.
Write it out again and do it proper.
What for?
Because you're told.
Oh, look, there's this character in a book. He's always hard up, but he's an optimist.
Do as your bid.
There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe you don't understand it, but the Jacobs will. Oh, it's meant to be funny. They'll laugh when they read it.
Aye, to be sure they will. At you, for setting yourself up to be something you're not.
Well, it's my letter. You're not writing it. I am.
Then write it proper.
Properly.
Don't you pull me up. Don't act the high up lord with me, not in this house. Oh, they said I rue the day, and the fool I was I didn't believe them. He'll turn on you, they said, me own mother, me good
Oh, play another record!
Don't you back after me.
Well, whatever it is, if you don't understand it, it's rubbish. Oh, to hell with Charles Dickens and the rest of them.
Are you going to write that out again, yes or no?
No, because there's
Are
nothing
you
the matter.
not, Nick?
Oh, son, write it down the way she wants you to.
Don't beg them, tell them.
Well, you bloody well do as you're told and not be driving the woman into a passion. Can't we have a minute's peace and quiet in the house one night of the week without your cursed god jackass?
Now do that letter again.
All right, I'll do it again. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Jacob, I am very well. My parents hope you are well, too. As it leaves them, I have a job now. It is in an office. It is a very good job. I do not know myself,
I am that delighted. Thanking you and obliged. Now, are you happy?
Hand it here. I wouldn't trust you to post it.
You're not going to send that.
Happy God, son, you always had a great fist for writing the letter.
I'm going to the billiard hall.
Go wherever you like.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
It was many years before I realized that love turned upside down was love for all that.
There's a whoring dog down before us in the finish. And the lights are on in the town, son. That's the Overton Road down there. That's where we frightened the shite out of the back and towns. And a lamp is lit in your Uncle Paddy's window.
Well, if it is, he didn't light it. He's dead these donkey's years. Uncle Paddy, Trujan Doyle, Gunter Apple. Oh, you know them? All your crumbs. An old Schwankerbonk with his banjo. And Mammy Riley in a madhouse of a shop with her money, so he said, all in sovereigns wrapped up inside her wig. All dead. Like his servant. Trust you, last as usual.
There's a harsh old wind starting up, son. We'll need a couple of extra coats on the bed tonight.
We will.
Come on, now. Mind your step. Give me your hand. And don't slip and cut yourself as you meet the pair of us. Let the light from the kish show you where to step.
That's it, Mother. Light us home.